me? No?
Anyway.
Hi, my name is Catherine, but my family calls me Yaya, so you can call me that too. And my biggest pottery insecurity is I'm pretty terrible at hand building. Whatever I'm making usually comes out bumpy, lopsided, or completely structurally failing. So I've generally steered clear of it. That said, I have always admired people who are good at hand building. In particular, I'm captivated by the making of Yixing wares. So I've come to the birthplace of Yixing teapots, Jingdezhen, Yixing in Jiangsu province, China. Yixing teapots are entirely hand-built and have been made in the region since the 16th century. I'm also fascinated by the qualities of the Zisha clay itself, which is a local clay that translates into purple sand clay, and what about it allows it to be shaped in such a way. So tomorrow I'm headed to the studio of Master Wang to get all those questions answered. I'll be talking more about what makes Yixing ware so special, including the history, the clay, and the techniques in more detail throughout the video. So let's see if I can successfully hand build myself a teapot.
我本人是那个王子刚，我是江苏宜兴人啊，从事那个紫砂行业已经有40多年了。自己呢也是喜欢自己设计啊，搞艺术的嘛，带着自己的个性，很荣幸到我这来学习。
Master Wang's home is his studio. It's a cozy rooftop apartment overlooking a sprawling park, nestled in a quiet neighborhood called Dingshuzhen, where Zisha clay was first mined. When you enter, the first thing you notice is the table welcoming guests for a cup of tea. The next is the floor-to-ceiling displays of the Zisha teapots Master Wang has designed and crafted himself. The teapots are of all different hues and shades, some speckled buff, others terracotta red or raw umber, still others teal, mustard, sage, or violet. What's most astounding is that these are the natural colors of the clay itself, left unglazed with no added lusters or finishes. And it's not just the colors, but the shapes too. Knobs, spouts, handles, even entire pots are fashioned in the likeness of a menagerie of flora and fauna. Master Wang's teapots have earned him a number of design and craftsmanship awards, both in China and abroad. Whether experimental or traditional, what all his teapots share is an air of near perfection, so meticulously resolved that their origins in a humble block of clay verge on the unimaginable. Yixing teapots are a favorite amongst lovers of Gongfu Cha, the Chinese practice of enjoying tea with a high leaf-to-water ratio and multiple shorter infusions for good reason. Zisha clay, once fired, exhibits a network of pore spaces, as well as tiny micropores. This double pore structure allows the clay to absorb the aromatic compounds of the tea with each use. Over time, and with proper care, a layer of tea stains forms on the inner wall of the pot. This patina, called baojiang, both retains and imparts fragrance to the infusion, allowing drinkers to fully realize the flavors and nuances of the tea. Devoted drinkers will even dedicate individual Zisha pots to specific teas in order to preserve and enhance each tea's character without carrying over notes from previous brews. Earlier, I came to greet Master Wang. He'd given me a tour of his studio, and we chatted over some oolong tea. So today, we'll begin the lesson straight away, how to build a basic Yixing Zisha teapot. This is the design I'll be making. It's got a simple, subtly rounded shape and a lid that sits cutely on top. The textured surface makes it more forgiving for beginners. First, Master Wang will show me how it's done.
要把那个尺寸先量好，你要做的多大的？8公分。
现在就是量壶身的。
切这个壶身的一张瓦片，8公分。
今天我们用的这个紫砂泥是紫泥。As you've probably gathered, Zisha clay isn't always purple, even though it has purple in the name. Zisha is simply an umbrella term for clay mined from designated local deposits, which share distinctive properties, but that can come in a range of colors. The Zisha Master Wang has selected today just happens to be a lovely aubergine. After roughly flattening a length of the clay with a heavy wooden mallet, Master Wang cuts off a smaller piece and begins to shape it into a round. 有点像擀饺子皮一样，就是转着那样子。
对，有点像嘛。这个敲这个皮子是靠这块啊，再靠这块手力，不要剁下去，这样。
He pounds until he achieves the desired thickness of about 3 millimeters.
然后呢，这个就放在卷盘上，把围片做出来。
The weipian is the name of the circular slab that is first placed on the banding wheel in order to gauge the circumference of the pot as it's being built. If that doesn't make a whole lot of sense right now, don't worry, everything will become clearer soon. Master Wang gathers the offcuts from the weipian and, repeating the same process of rotating and pounding, makes 2 more circular slabs. These are called dipian. The dipian are 6.5 centimeters across and 2 millimeters thick. They will form the top and bottom of the finished teapot. Switching back to the weipian, Master Wang centers it on the wheel. It'll serve as a reference point to build the rest of the pot.
这个直径是8公分，这个泥片高度呢叫7公分就可以了。出来就灯样了造型上就灯样了。这个上面再切一块泥下来。
The next step is to create the slab that will form the hushen, the teapot body. Master Wang starts with a long, rectangular piece of clay. With the mallet turned on its side and working in a right to left direction, he swiftly spreads the clay thin. Once it's roughly flattened, he switches the mallet back to flat, moving back and forth lengthwise to achieve an even thickness throughout. Master Wang checks the length and thickness before trimming the sheet. Again, we're looking for 7 centimeters in height. He leaves the short edges untouched to be trimmed after the slab goes around the weipian, which you'll see next.
多厚差不多多厚？
像这个小的呢，一般都是两个多一点。
这算厚一点。
厚了啊，这个厚的。开始做的时候不要做的很薄，因为这掌控不了，它会变形。它会变形。
这样子中高温烧的这个紫砂泥不会太变形，是不是？
紫砂泥本身就不容易变形，这叫什么样子？这烧出来就是你10%的收缩力，它是收缩小，跟那个瓷泥不同。
抹点水，不用抹泥浆。这
个不用，这个就是用水。压的时候呢要顺过来哈，就 OK 了。这个就开始要慢慢拍。
它就自己会转，是里面的手是稍微大一点，它才是外面的拍的时候。
它是靠它的惯性，这个口就是开始收起来。外片是控制那个茶壶的那个容量和大小，没有这张泥片的话，你就控制不住，拍的时候就会跑偏，就跑到别的地方去了。你看这个就差不多了，弄完泥浆以后，这个扣上。
On a granite block, he spritzes some clay trimmings with water.
要把它拆糊，融合在一起，硬的泥巴都没有了，这样就可以了。上这个泥片之后呢，要反过来，如果是这个面是朝上的，要反过来，这样的话呢，一拍以后，它那个泥片往上翘弓起来，有一定弧度，放上去一压下去，它就一张开了，捏就比较紧。
This subtle action, dropping the dipian onto the tabletop a few times, also helps the bottom of the pot lay flat instead of sinking in after paddling.
也是把它擀一下，泥片往里进去，这张泥片跟那个壶身就是容易结合。壁纸有个弧度在里面，这样子做起来这个造型呢比较饱满。就反过来这样放着放在中间呢，再开始拍。拍的时候一开始不要收，就把那个壶身那个张力把它拍出来，不要太直。直了以后就远看的时候就是逼进去了，起视觉效果再拍上面。这个是要控制，自己控制。这个手呢不要往外推，靠这个手后拍的时候它带过来的惯性。
Ceramic history in Yixing spans millennia, but the Zisha teapot is actually a relatively recent development. The story goes that Gongfu, a Ming Dynasty servant boy circa the 1500s, observed monks at Jinsha Temple making stoneware teapots. He fashioned his own teapot in the shape of a ginkgo burl. Today, he is considered the father of Zisha teapots.
把它调均匀一下，这个就正好是吧？可以了
这里面的泥浆不用，
现在盖这个泥片的时候就把这个泥浆要修一下，
刮干净。
外面的积累，现在就开始做。
这是石头吗？
石头。这是玛瑙，其实你像摊上卖的那种，压的时候呢，这个时候工具都挤在一起。片接头的地方做一个记号，张那个壶嘴或者是张壶把，把它稍微挺一挺，这个积累就基本上就差不多了。拍一下，敲一下。
活的时候可以听见那沙的声音。
对。
When Zisha is first extracted, it doesn't look like what most people imagine when they think of clay. It takes the form of a block with a flaky structure and must be processed to be used. First, the raw material is stored in the open air where it decomposes into smaller grains. Then, it's ground and tempered with water. Sand, the sha in Zisha, is added to amend the texture, and the clay is left to age for at least a year, some maturing over decades. This lengthy process of refining is why Zisha is sometimes called clay from clay.
不要太干了，干了以后做起来不好做嘛，就降了，它那个不听话了，什么肉它都怀不过来，跟做雕塑一样的，一点慢慢调整，把自己要的那个形啊，把它调整出来。这个呢做底步骤就做完了，现在呢就让它慢慢吹一吹，跟那个接头那个泥浆让它收缩一下，水分吸收一下，它这个连接度啊就牢固了。现在呢就不要去动它，然后做那个壶嘴啊。
For the spout, he starts by rolling a bit of softer clay into a small log.
这个就放在中间，一边搓一边把它推进去。这个地方用地裂，这样的壶嘴呢，就这个口小，这个口后面比较大，放上去的时候切一下就可以了。一般做点的话，你做上一点好了，不要做在中间，做在这个位置就可以。每一个造型它不同的位置就不同了，不是说是定死的那个。就敲一下呢，它里面是有一点平，它不会转圈啊。做好了就放在这晾一下就可以。这个是保湿的那个缸，我用紫砂土做的，
素烧的。
这素烧，这样的保持它的那个湿度，做别的事情就不影响。开始做那个壶盖。
The fact that Zisha history only stretches back about 500 years may seem surprising until you find out that for much of China's history, tea was ground, stewed in cauldrons, and served in bowls. At no point was a teapot involved. Tea was either prepared modestly by the working class or in the Tang and Song, elevated by nobility and requiring a plethora of ornate accessories. It was only in the late Ming dynasty that the practice of Gongfu Cha became fashionable, which led to the rise of the Zisha teapot, its clay type and compact size lending itself well to the ritual.
画个圆圈，这个盖子的位置在哪里？可能要竖进来半公3个毫米，那个边呢正好卡上去，卡在上面。现在做呢就要做到盖子上面那一块。敲的时候是斜的啊，这面薄，这面厚。一般盖剪呢，一般是1/6，长度呢就根据这个盖锅来切。
In Zisha, you bet there's a specialized tool for everything.
就一边厚一边薄。
对，一个是接触面一个牢，还有一个呢也好看。
这个脖子还挺高的。
矮了以后盖子容易掉下来。
He places the slip-laden ring on the gaipian, padding to secure.
这个呢就是专门做那个盖子的那个边的，这手指跟那个工具都要靠上。
With a few turns of the wheel, the lid becomes regular. Master Wang removes excess slip with a finger and tidies with a leather chamois.
这个钮嘛，等一会儿再做，因为这个壶盖要等它干硬一点，自己摸一下这个感觉就可以了。你要做的话，基本上可以2天就能做完了。你这个就是，
但是这是很基本的一个。
这个是很速成的了，这基本的过程了。做到复杂的好几张泥片，就是完成这个圆片都要五六七张，口就是2张泥片，里面1张，外面1张，再加上那个盖子。
We're at a good stopping point for Master Wang to step aside and let me try all the steps up until this point.
换一种泥料一定要把它洗干净，都要重新擦一遍。
Looks like I'm making a yellow teapot.
这叫芒果泥，像芒果一样的泥。圆片我来帮你打好了放在这里。
This first teapot will be my trial run, where I'll give things an honest shot, but Master Wang will hold my hand for most of it, and I will definitely need the help.
来了，学着敲的，好吧？
I'll spare you the discomfort of watching me bungle this teapot. For most of it, Master Wang is forced to save me from disaster. Instead, let me tell you about a really great tool I used to help me better understand Zisha teapots while researching this video. After I came back from my trip to Yixing, I wanted to find a way to organize what I learned on the ground there, but also go deeper with additional readings. The more I read, the more I kept getting sucked into this entire ecosystem of Yixing history, geology, tea culture, and master teapot makers. Every answer seemed to open 10 new questions and 10 new tabs, and very quickly it became obvious that I needed help to organize everything in a way that was both fun to put together and easy to navigate. The solution was Milanote. Milanote is a tool for organizing creative projects, but you can also use it to take visual notes and go deep with your learning. You can collect images, text, videos, and links all in one place. Milanote functions just like pinning ideas to a physical wall, which I'm a big fan of as a visual and spatial thinker. This is literally how I organize my week on the wall behind me, so this format really works for me. So this is my Yixing Teapot main board, my home base, my gateway to everything Zisha. So right away, I knew I wanted these subtopics: origins Lessons in history, Zisha characteristics and colors, teapot designs and shapes, basic tools for forming, and notable makers. Here's also a map of Yixing for those who aren't familiar with where it is on the globe. You can insert maps right in Milanote. Yixing is about 1 hour by high-speed rail from Shanghai. I also have here my references as links so I can easily go back to the source material. Instead of flipping through notebooks or scrolling through endless pages in a document, having everything laid out like this means I can see the whole picture at once. And when I want to go deeper on a subject, say the lore behind Yixing pottery, I can simply double-click here to expand its subboard. And here we are. This is how I imagine giving a house tour feels like. So here I created this timeline of the development of Yixing ware with notes connected by hand-drawn arrows, which you can draw right in Milanote. This is 6,000 years of history condensed on one page, which, while far from comprehensive, is pretty effective. The next topic I wanted to explore was the qualities of Zisha itself, since it's such a fascinating material that can exhibit so many colors. This one was particularly fun to put together because Milanote has a built-in color swatch feature, so I could just drag those in and it would automatically pull those colors out as hex codes. This is perfect for if you're trying to create a color palette for interior or web design, a fashion collection, or any number of other projects. So here are some more fun facts about the unique qualities of Zisha. Not only is the shrinkage of Zisha clay low, so is the strain rate, the speed of deformation under stress. What this means is that pieces such as lids can be fitted snugly without cracking or warping, and outlines and edges can stay distinct and sharp. This is super important for Zisha craftsmanship because a snug fit is what retains heat, maintains the aroma, and prevents leaks while pouring. Also, the composition and quantity of ferric oxide in Zisha are what give it a wide range of naturally occurring colors, in case you were curious. Cool. So moving on to shapes and designs. This way of laying out the pots really showed me how diverse the designs can be. There are 4 basic types of shapes: round, square, sculptural, and veined. Personally, I'm a huge fan of sculptural teapots that look like knotty trees, like this plum tree trunk shaped teapot. I made this little game here that you can use to test your knowledge of the shape categories. So what I'm gonna do is generate a view-only link and turn on reactions and comments, which means that anyone with this specific link can add their reactions to sort the teapots into their shape categories. Milanote also has the option to add editors to your board so you can work with others in real time. It's a much more natural way to collaborate than sending files back and forth. And even though this board is looking really good, I can keep adding to it as I revisit this topic. Earlier today, I found this article on contemporary teapot artist Xu Chengquan. She is known for her Zisha teapots in the shape of bamboo. What I can do is use the Milanote web clipper tool to save this link and any images or text on this page. Then I can head into Milanote, open this unsorted tab right here, and then drag and drop these into my board. And from there, I can sort and rearrange and play with them until I'm happy. Milanote also offers over 100 built-in templates to help you start quickly. I began with the art research board template and customized it to fit my needs. I usually prefer working analog, like journaling and sketching on paper, and I don't enjoy maintaining a huge number of digital tools. But Milanote was genuinely so easy to work in, it integrated seamlessly into my workflow. Milanote is useful for any creative project: crafts, writing, filmmaking, design, even planning travel, and of course, pottery. So click on the link in my description to make a free account to use with no time limit, and make sure to check out my board after you've signed up. Now let's head back to the studio and I'll continue sharing insights from my Milanote board throughout the rest of the video.
这班都自己来，自己打泥片，自己练呗，好吧？放在边上。
I'm starting on my second teapot. This one will be my real attempt. Master Wang will supervise, but it's up to me to make this pot happen, and I'm excited to make something that's fully my own.
对对对，拎起来，拎起来，手拎起来，拎起来，对对对，起来的时候它也同步跟着起来了，慢来，来去慢一点吧，不着急。对，这样差不多。 这厚薄差不多了，根据自己要求来调，厚薄都是乱调。
就是用这个。
对对对，这个是底片，直径大，就是这张底片。
够大吗？还有点小。
不是这样，这个是泥片跟那个搭子是同步的，它跟同步走的。对，慢慢就熟练了。一开始不驯手，就这样开始弄起来。对。 就放在边上就可以了，对。 为什么这样打圆的呢？它那个收缩是匀称的，横了打、竖了打呢，它那个收缩的时候都很圆。
You might have heard the phrase, clay has memory. Every time you push, stretch, or compress, you're aligning the clay particles in a certain direction. This does influence the way the clay shrinks as it dries.
对，就摁住了就不能让它跑啊，不摁住的话它就跑了。对，这个还可以打一张，再打一张这样就小了，够了。
To make this teapot, I'll need a total of 6 slabs. I'll also need to sculpt 3 other components, the spout, the handle, and the knob.
还有一张圆片，有4张，第1张，这上面2张，还有一个盖子1张，就4张。
In case you're keeping track, the other 2 slabs are the wei pian, which we already have and that won't actually become a part of the pot, and the hu shen, the teapot body, which I'll start making now.
敲吧，用力。
I'm realizing that rhythm and coordination are both really important when it comes to hand building, which is true of throwing too, of course.
可以
就这
样
啊，就这个角度，
可以
对，这样敲的话就断掉了。
But in throwing, most of the power is generated by the wheel, whereas with this, you're generating your own power. It looks easygoing, but involves a great deal of effort.
第2个头打了，你看这个斜面其实薄的，后面是厚的，这样卷一下，那都打好几个月了，几个小时了。
Apprentices pound slabs for months before they're even taught to make pots.
必须要是直的还是可以？
都可以啊，你去打到熟练了，你什么姿势都可以。这个地方就厚，这个地方就薄，中间厚，两边薄，做出来偏了，因为它那个厚薄不均匀了。
I'm grateful that I'm being given the chance to start over. Every do-over, especially in the early stages of learning, is significantly better than the last attempt.
还是有点
厚，中间厚。就这样去裁的。
Zisha itself is quite forgiving and pleasant to work with. Its near perfect plasticity means it bends and flows easily when manipulated. It has high self-cohesion but low adhesion, so it holds its shape nicely while not sticking to a potter's hands. When you press into it, it leaves a clean mark, making it great for hyper-realistic sculpting. As Zisha firms up, it really starts to feel like you're working with a lovely, limber leather. And if it dries too much, a spritz of water easily revives it. All of this means it's a beautiful candidate for hand building. Still, it requires careful handling, especially because it's so responsive to touch.
就拍着这个，这样弄，对，就这样。下次做的时候，把这个转盘拉到身边，你不要拉到这个，人就跑到哪里去，一定要放在这个位置，拍子上擦干净，折一下。
Now I'll begin to paddle. It's a continuous process of patting and kneading to change the shape while maintaining its symmetry. I don't get very far before I start to lose it. The symmetry, that is.
说它这个底下变形的，
里面那个手用力了，用力把它顶出来，里面的手不要推，这个手不要离开那个。 离开离片以后，就这样扶翼当中就推了，扶在上面，这个外面拍子就拍就行了，对。
If the shape starts to drift and the sides begin to buckle, it's very important to catch it early and correct it gently. Trying to force it back all at once will only introduce new distortion.
拿离片不要这个2个算，这个一定要拖着，养成这个习惯，一量就能看得见了。一个手。
Now it's time to attach the first circular slab, which will become the bottom of the teapot.
多一点再可以。
不够。把这个洞堵上，有一个工具挤在上面，不能有洞，靠这个地方，再放上去。工具挑着不对，要这样挑，你看这样下去了以后挑出来，平拍，先平拍。 放平，对，不要敲，就直接对，连接上吧，就要这样，就翻过来。
I think Master Wang is having a bit of trouble stepping back. Despite having a lot of work on his own plate, he seems more concerned with how I'm doing, which is very sweet.
用力力。
Now I'm repeating the step of paddling and shaping on the other side of the teapot body and starting to feel more comfortable with the rhythm and pressure of the paddle.
对，
有一点这样子的感觉。
就自己掌握这个技法。我们这是教的是一个方法，有好多东西要自己去掌握。你叫我把它收进去，怎么收都可以。这个直径还不够，卡不住，放下去就掉下去。这种情况就2个手指就可以了，敲这个位置。拿到后面一点，不要拿到前面，先不上力。改一下，把它形上，把它改一改。这样可以了，这样把基底做出来就行了。
This is one of my favorite steps, stamping the surface to get a dimpled, organic look. Once it's roughly textured, it's time to attach the top.
这个不用，这个洞不要
不用吗？
这个洞不要
是因为
上面还要开口呢，这个东西。
Let's talk teapot shapes for a moment. There are 4 categories of teapot shapes, like I mentioned before briefly. The first is yuanqi, round with smooth contours and harmonious proportions. The second is fangqi, square with faceted sides that form the illusion of roundness through geometry. The third, huaqi, are often the most intriguing to look at. These are sculptural teapots that look just like the reference material, usually plants or animals. And then there's jinwenqi, veined or ribbed pots inspired by natural patterns, like flower petals or water ripples. There are also classic teapot shapes, like the beauty of Zisha, which we won't have time to get into today.
到后来里面很圆，没有硬块了，做壶嘴的，就有款了。一出是圆的，这里或再出长的，用手掌这样推，
后来是
这样推，这样。出的时候呢，这个也要先放好，放在中间，一个手这样，一个手这样推，真的慢慢往里推，就推进去了。来，我再来这示范一下我啊，
仔细看一点。
再看一点，这样走啊，这个手势啊，这样慢慢往里推，这个手这样转，就出来了吗？然后再这样慢慢滚了一下啊，滚一下，把它后面再大一点，
来回的这样。
对，都可以啊。等一会儿再挖一下、掏一下就可以了，出发。变成那个耳朵形了，然后这个就可以放在那里晾一下。盖子，小心不要把它弄不圆啊，别弄到后来不圆的。
There's something so imaginative, expressive, playful, and lovable about Zisha with its infinite possibilities. A teapot can look like a lotus or flow with elegant curves like water. It can have a horse's snout for a spout or swell with ridges like a ripe pumpkin. Or it can be painted with blossoms, inlaid with pearl, or inscribed with poems. Master teapot artist Jiang Rong once said this when asked about her creativity when designing pots. My ambition is to produce works that observers fall for. In Zisha making, the sky is the limit.
捋起来，撩起来，对，多一点就没事的，对，就可以放上去，看边上差不多比较均匀就行。就这样捋一下就可以。手指这个小指卷盘的
I've gotten a good chunk of work done today, but light is quickly fading. I'll stop here for now. Master Wang will show us how to finish a teapot, and then we'll call it a day.
放在这先晾一下就可以了。先晾一下。
Master Wang resumes the lesson where we left off earlier, using my first teapot as the example. He pounds another circle about 6 centimeters across, the same as the lid. This will become the lip of the pot.
在那个泥浆啊，就粘在这个边上就可以，要少一点。
He's leaving the center bare of slip, so it's easier to remove when it comes time to cut out the opening for the lid.
然后这个地方是要这个织泥这样。
The extra slip helps blend and soften the transition of the lip into the body. Master Wang sculpts the knob of the lid with the same soft clay he used to make the handle and spout. With a hole punch tool, he adds a ventilation hole to the lid. This hole is necessary to allow the pot to pour. The slip around the rim is now partially solidified, so he goes in with some more texture. Now it's time to open the hole for the lid. This cutter is set to the same diameter as the outside diameter of the flange. 2 layers of clay are removed and the inside is cleaned up. Now we attach.
再量一下这个高度，这个注意一下记号。
The spout is shaved to the right length and angle. Then Master Wang punches a pattern of 7 filter holes into the body. A special tool is used to round and tidy the filter holes.
我们还有个军用工具，专门搞那个里面的煤油，就是我们讲起来就是煤油。盖一下呢，它是不粘泥。这个啊，就把那个毛刺刺的地方把它打到角。
Now it's time to apply slip to the spout and attach it firmly over the holes. Not too much slip, or you'll clog them back up. It's the handle's turn now.
粘在一条线上就可以了啊。短了一点，短了一点呢，就用那个泥把它补一块上去。
Master Wang adjusts the handle length, then gives it a head start on the texture since it'll be harder to press once it's on. A couple dabs of slip and it's joined with the rest of the pot.
然后呢，这样看，再不在一条线上。
还是觉得我刚才做的那个不太好，不想浪费您的这个泥巴。
无所谓，也是你个一步步个过程。你把它烧起来带回去也是，这是我第一个做的，这是第二个做的，自己留一个印象。印象。将来去给人同学讲课，人家第一个做的就是怎么样的，到后来我有进步。
挺好的。
对。这把活基本上是要这样完成。是很快速的。你去这个壶，你要做好也不是容易的。要讲究的话，线条每一个线条都要流畅，都要到位，没有什么简单的。就是你了解就是紫砂的一个过程，到后来慢慢学着差不多了，你再去做复杂的，可以压光了，你这个硬度差不多。就要弄到这个硬度，用那个塑料纸、塑料布。这压的时候呢，不要压得很紧，稍微松一点，往上蹭，慢慢蹭啊。
就可以看出来它会有点。
开始光了吗？是不是？这上面的特点就要这样去抛它。我们一般用的那个牛角和那个塑料板，用这个方式来教你这个快，还有这个钮再抛一下。等一会儿再抛呢，就抛出来更亮了。
When I step into the studio early the next morning, Master Wang is already hard at work. This elaborate piece sculpted from green clay will become the handle on his bronzeware-inspired teapot design. Meanwhile, I'm picking up where I left off with my lid.
放点泥在这里。
对，自己调整在中间就行。
我也看了那个视频复习了一点。
I thought it might be fun to go through some of the popular stories, myths if you will, about Zisha, and talk about whether they're true or not. So for the first myth or not, we have a well-seasoned Zisha pot doesn't need tea leaves to produce tea. Hot water poured inside will take on the flavor of brews past, yielding a cup of tea sans any new tea leaves. While this is quite a romantic notion and a great narrative to use to sell a Zisha pot, this one is false. A well-used pot will harbor aroma, and hot water poured inside will carry a hint of some tea, but that won't come close to the flavor of a real brew. And a Zisha pot will most certainly not make a bad tea taste good. Another one is, you should only use one type of tea per Zisha teapot. This one is mostly good advice, but it's not as rigid as it's often presented. If you're mixing very different teas in the same pot, like a fruity young pu'er with a minerally yancha, a type of roasted oolong, you will get some crossover. But it's not like you ruin a pot by switching teas once or twice. In practice, it's more about your personal sensitivity. If you care about clean, distinct flavors and have the cupboard space and discretionary funds to accumulate teapots, by all means, dedicate your pots to specific teas. If not, there's nothing wrong with a multi-purpose teapot. But what about which types of tea are appropriate to brew in a Zisha teapot? Can any tea be used? Since Zisha teapots are porous and retain heat well, they have the effect of absorbing and rounding out astringent notes in darker teas, and are good for teas that benefit from higher temperatures sustained over longer steeps. These are your oolongs, black teas, and pu'er.
放下去了，那你是把它刮一下就行了，用水蘸一下，把它磨一下就可以。盖下去，能盖下就可以了，再喷喷水就干了。
On the other hand, Zisha's absorbent and heat-retaining properties mean that delicate green and white teas will lose their top notes in a Zisha pot, becoming flat and muted. The high heat in the pot may also push them too hard, causing them to become overbrewed, bitter, and astringent. That's why it's recommended to brew lighter teas in porcelain or glass vessels instead, and save the Zisha for more robust teas.
这个自己再把它修修，把那个用这个工具修一下。对，就这样，不用怕，要修平整的。
Here's another one for you. A good Yixing teapot always pours in a straight stream with no dribble. This one may surprise you. It's false. I think the pottery world has a bit of an obsession with teapots that don't dribble. I've seen makers smash pots when a single droplet of water runs down the spout, and I kind of get it. A sharp, clean pour looks impressive, seems important, and makes for a tidy tabletop when serving tea in the Western style. But when using a Gongfu Cha tea table, which contains a drainage pan, overflowing and spilling is not much of a problem. In fact, it's part of the process. So a small dribble is not reason enough to reject a perfectly good teapot.
再喷点水进去，让它干。这个胚体越干，那个织泥越要薄一点，容易粘得住。干了以后一粘，它就马上吸水就干了，干了就容易掉。
A pot that doesn't dribble at all can be a mark of great craftsmanship, and it minimizes the loss of tea. But with Zisha pots in particular, certain designs prized for their aesthetic beauty are simply more prone to dripping. So a Zisha pot that drips a bit is not a flawed teapot necessarily. How about this one? Certain colors of Zisha pair better with certain teas. To explain this one, we need to touch upon the Zisha types. There's Zini, purple, Hongni, red, and Duanni, a variable clay. Within these types, there are numerous subtypes which vary and overlap in both their color and their properties, like porosity, density, and heat retention. So, is there a basis to color and tea pairing wisdoms? Sort of, because color itself is not the real variable. Two teapots that share the same color could still be formulated differently and will interact with tea differently as a result. So it's simply more accurate to say that each clay is unique and that it's up to you to decide which tea it pairs best with.
I had it in this wet box while I was gone. It should be a little easier to work with now. I was really having trouble like stamping in a teapot with this rock. It was pretty hard. I think it's softened up a bit. It should be a little better now, and also easier for me to attach the handle.
And our last myth or not is, an authentic Yixing Zisha teapot must be made with local Zisha clay. The answer is yes. Most Zisha comes from a specific mountain not far from where I'm sitting making this pot, Huanglongshan, Yellow Dragon Mountain. Clay from other locations might behave similarly to Zisha in the making process, but once fired, they don't share the same qualities that make Zisha so wonderful for brewing tea. This might be disappointing for those of us who want to make a Zisha pot with the clay we have at home, but it also challenges us to think in terms of the question, what does this clay want to be, rather than what do I want the clay to be?
翻过来。
对，你把这个把它做完这个。这个工具太薄了，用这个工具。用这个这个有弧度在里面，做起来好做你这个抹布也要用好了嘛，泼个水。上面有就粘在上面，老做不光，做不干净。你看我们做就开始用那个抹布啪擦一下。还有一个工具上有带一点湿度，有点水，它正好光的时候，这个你不用就好做。
Master Wang Zhigang trained under notable teapot artists like Wang Yinxian. She learned from artists such as Zhu Kexin, Pei Shimin, and the aforementioned Jiang Rong. Those three names, along with four others, comprise the 7 great masters of Zisha. The 7 greats, born at the end of the 19th century and the start of the 20th, are credited with sustaining Zisha craft throughout tumultuous and formative periods of China's history, including during periods of civil unrest, foreign occupation, and intense censorship. During these times, operations in Yixing came to a halt and forced Zisha artists to scatter or go underground. Yet today, prominent Zisha artists have emerged once more.
这个程度就可以用这个，再用慢慢的称，干的就用这个称干了以后用这个，慢慢称，越称越亮。
直接可以烧到1130。
弄好了晚上给你烧，前天上午烧，到后天早上就可以拿。做好了拿上去，放在那边容易干了。
If you're interested in more history and notable makers, definitely check out my Milanote board and the sources linked. I'll continue to burnish my second pot until a uniform shine is visible across its entire surface. And I think that's looking good. Now that the pot is burnished, it's time for me to sign it. I scratch my name, Yaya, on the bottom. Later, Master Wang tells me I should really add the location and date to my signature, so I scratch those in as well.
我觉得做好了。
行，把字刻了吗？
刻了。
哦。
可以检查一下。
啊，没事，就这样。啊，这样就放进去了。
嗯，
这样可以了。可以，因为做到这样就不错了。拿到上面去，下面那个你看一下。这个窑在这。
啊，这小电窑，刚做好的吗？
对。怕它粘在一起嘛，一烧，放那个氧化铝或者是石英都可以，它这个就不脏了。高温的那个你就撒在上面就可以了，也可以。我明天给你就烧一下就可以。以后要用那个金刚砂慢慢磨，把那个口要磨一下以后就完整了。像松果。
我觉得好可爱。
对，这个叫嵌感，嵌感是最难做的。
没事吧？
没事，这个口太紧了。
听见那声音，我还以为摔坏了。
以后要用金刚砂慢慢磨。
After giving my bench a good scrub, it was time to go.
就是时间太短了，你做的也挺好，短几天能做出一把壶来，很不容易的。
因为您教的好。
没有，还是你的悟性好啊！欢迎你下次制作来做，对吧？做别的做得更好，把紫砂那个材质呢表达的更有紫砂的那个特点，把它做出来，啊。
Welcome home. After a day of candling, Master Wang fired my pots. Are you ready to see how they turned out? Let's start with teapot number 1. Ta-da! And here's teapot number 2. At first glance, these teapots might look identical, but if you take a closer look, you can pretty easily tell which one is the one I made first, where Master Wang was much more involved, and which one I made second, where I want to say I made it 95% on my own. And I will point out more of the differences, but I do want to show you how they work, how they pour, and what better way to do that than with Gongfu Cha. Let's start with the first teapot. This teapot I've been using for Hong Cha, which translates to red tea, but is actually what we call black tea in English. This is from Zhang Yiyuan, which is a China time-honored brand. This is a lighter, fruitier black tea. Before I add my tea to my pot though, I'm gonna warm the vessel. And I'm gonna do the same with my other tea implements, my Gongdao Bei and my teacups. Put that right on top. We have the teapot stand here, as well as this whole table set up to catch any excess water. I'm gonna pour out this water from the teapot into this bowl I have on the side. This pre-warmed pot also helps the tea leave steam and release the aroma. Into the pot that goes. The first pour over, some consider a rinse to get rid of any tea dust or impurities, but since this is a really good quality tea that I bought not too long ago and I'm just serving myself right now, I'm just gonna go ahead and skip that rinsing step. But say if I were serving some guests and I really want to make sure that I give them the best standard of Gongfu Cha, I would probably rinse the tea. Gongfu Cha literally translates to tea with skill, and I'm definitely not going to do it justice. It's supposed to be done in a very relaxed, fluid, but attentive manner. I've rarely been on the host side of Gongfu Cha, only really been on the guest side of things, so please excuse me if I am a bit awkward. 40 seconds or so is up. I'm going to first pour this into my Gongdao Bei. A little hesitant on that, so there was a dribble. Pretty nice. And then into the warmed aroma cup, which is this taller, smaller cup right here. Flip that over. The narrow bell shape of this cup really funnels the aroma into your nose. If you're rinsing, this first infusion gets poured out, usually on top of a teapot if you have that, but I'm just going to drink it. It's just a tea straight up. There's no sweetener or cream, but it tastes just like milk tea because it's so smooth and it has that honeyed aroma. This is really great to have with a dessert, speaking from experience. Let's take a closer look at this first teapot. Round and cute. The spout is very proportional with a skyward sort of tilt. The handle is noticeably earlobe shaped. It's attached at the bottom a little higher, which contributes to that soft, buoyant look. Very comfortable to hold, very light. I haven't used it for enough time for it to develop any sort of patina or tea stains on the inside. Really what you need to do to give your teapot tea stains is to use it. Use it consistently, use it over many years, and take good care of it. The oils from your hands will also sink into the exterior of the pot the more it's handled and enhance that glossiness that we brought out with the burnishing. Caring for your teapot is sometimes called raising your pot, which I just love. The second infusion will be 25 to 30 seconds because the leaves have already opened. After the second brew, you usually increase the brew time by like 10 to 15 seconds each time, and you keep doing infusions for your guests until you decide you're done with these leaves. The tea leaves can also just stay in the pot with the lid open, no problem, and you can continue to steep it throughout the day. Just a note, there are many ways to carry out Gongfu Cha. In fact, most Gongfu Cha is not carried out with a teapot and is done with a gaiwan, so there's that. Let's enjoy this last cup for now. I'm gonna go boil some more water. Be right back. This is one naughty girl. Bringing in the second pot. This second teapot I actually gave to my partner as a gift. I stole it back to film this part of the video. Even though it technically belongs to him, I have decided that this teapot is for brewing pu'er. Pu'er is what's called a post-fermented tea. It usually carries a darker, earthier flavor profile. This is the pu'er I'm using today, again from Zhang Yiyuan in Beijing. Pu'er often comes in a cake form. What this brand has done is portion out that cake to individual packets. It's right in. The color in the pot is very dark. Almost looks like a soy sauce. Are we ready for the pour? See, when it gets down to the bottom of that brew, that color. A little bit of a dribble there, but that's okay. That's why we have this towel. It's pretty hot. When you do Gongfu Cha, you really need to just be prepared to burn your fingers. Ooh. Let's try this. This is bold, it's earthy. It carries almost no bitterness as well. It's so smooth, it's really full-bodied. This is actually my first time having this tea. I don't know why I didn't mention that, but this is surprisingly good. It's earthy, yes, but also very bright. I think you really just need to taste a pu'er to really know what I'm talking about, but on this teapot, the one I made pretty much by myself, the body is a little straighter and stockier. The spout, it runs a bit long. It should have been cropped, you know, at more of an angle and a little lower. If you put this side by side with the first pot, you can see the differences in the handle are quite pronounced. It is the bulkier of the two at 220 grams versus this one at 191 grams. Now that's not to say that I don't like my pot. In fact, I'm really proud of it. I was able to get it symmetrical, which is more than I could say for literally anything I've hand built prior to this. Most importantly, it works. Whatever it may lack in looks, it makes up for tenfold in functionality. All in all, a huge win for an inexperienced hand builder like me. Getting to learn Zisha and Yixing was really special. I visited a new place in China, was exposed to a new pottery tradition, a regional pottery tradition that greatly expanded my world beyond that of porcelain, which is what I know best. Unexpectedly, and by extension, I learned a lot about tea culture as well. It's a good reminder for me that pottery isn't just about the making of objects. More than anything, it's about how people use and live with those objects, which is sometimes easy to forget about, surprisingly, when you're too engrossed in the making side of things. So the verdict is yes, I am capable of hand building if I put my mind to it and if I have a really good teacher. I feel much less intimidated by it, even more enamored by it. And I think I can incorporate bits and pieces of what I learned in my practice moving forward. I will treasure these teapots. I can't wait to keep raising them and see how they'll grow and change with me.
妈妈，来喝点茶吧。